What we thought was an unfortunate fire incident at the Wuse market has turned out to be much more. But who dropped the ball? Was it the corrections officers? Was it the police force? Was it the Abuja Investment Company Limited, who we are told owns Wuse market? Was it the FCT authorities? The agency that coordinated the entire response is here with us on Dateline Abuja and will help us understand what happened and what needs to be done. We bring you the details of the Wuse market fire incident in our focus on the FCT and an update on the major stories from Nigeria's presidency in our Abuja wrap. This is Dateline Abuja. Hello and welcome to Dateline Abuja. I'm Kayla Magwa. Let's begin with a rundown of the major stories from Nigeria's seat of power.
President Bola Tinubu has called on state governors to set aside political differences and collaborate with the federal government to build the nation. Speaking during the breaking of Ramadan fast with governors at the State House in Abuja, the president emphasized the importance of transitioning from politics to governance, noting the need for unity and cooperation amongst all stakeholders.
I'm glad that the headwind pushing us back is almost over. The tunnel is not as dark as when we started. It's getting clearer. And it's going to be brighter and brighter. In the name of Allah. So, the capacity to work with each other, to communicate and share joy is what I will continue to preach about.
Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu says no ransom will be paid for the rescue of all those kidnapped in Kaduna, Sokoto, Borno and other states. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mr. Mohammed Idris, announced this after the Federal Executive Council meeting at the Presidential Villa in Abuja.
We are seeing some kind of movement by the more the security agencies are also hitting these targets, the targets of criminals, the more they are pushed to also getting some soft targets. But government is not taking any excuses. The president has directed that security agencies must, as a matter of urgency, ensure that these children and all those who have been kidnapped are brought back in safety, and also in the process to ensure that not a dime is paid for ransom. So it's important to underscore that. No dime, government is not paying anybody any dime, and the government is optimistic that these children and other people that are abducted will be brought back to their families in safety.
President Bola Tinubu has appointed Dr. Temitope Ilori as the Director General of the National Agency for the Control of AIDS for an initial term of 4 years. The statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Ajuri Ngelale, states that Dr. Ilori is a senior lecturer in the Department of Community Medicine at the University of Ibadan and a consultant family physician at the University College Hospital, Ibadan. The President has approved the relocation of the agency from the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, where it was domiciled, to the Ministry of Health and Social Welfare. President Bola Tinubu has appointed Dr. Dakorinama Alabo George as the Director General of the Border Communities Development Agency. Dr. George holds a PhD in Construction Management, an MSc in Quantity Surveying and Construction Engineering, and a BTech in Quantity Surveying. President Bola Tinubu has appealed to Nigerians to pray for peace and stability in the country. Declaring open the annual Ramadan Tafsir at the State House Mosque, the president advised the Muslim faithful to demonstrate kindness to one another and their neighbors, while also supporting the less privileged in society. The Senate has suspended Senator Abdul Ningi, representing Bauchi Central, for 3 months over allegations of 3.7 trillion naira padding of the 2024 budget. Senator Ningi was suspended after about 3 hours of debate over his interview in which he made the allegation of budget padding. The Senate also warned Senator Suleiman Kawu against sharing and distributing misinformation about the Senate.
Distinguished Senator Abdul Ningi of Bauchi Central, having posted falsehood through his interview on BBC Hausa Service and other media, B, and is hereby suspended from all activities of the Senate, including being found within the precincts of the Senate for the next 3 months.
The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Mr. Nyesom Wike, has been speaking on why he has yet to meet with the senator representing the FCT, Senator Ireti Kingibe, over issues concerning the nation's capital. The minister, who was speaking during the media chat, says the senator's claim of not being carried along is uncalled for and could be described as playing to the gallery.
I read yesterday. I don't want to be personal. I think they say she's a senator for FCT. I don't know. I think, okay, they said she's a senator for FCT. Said, Wike is busy scraping roads. And listen, I just, in my place, that's what I did. I said, if you don't know what to tell somebody, you say as him be. Everybody is commending what is going on in FCT. You are busy, say that he's not carrying me along. I'm supposed to be the eye of FCT. That's lawmaking. That's lawmaking. The eye of FCT in terms of implementing Mr. President's agenda is me. Is me. Mr. President made promise to FCT. Mr. President told them, I have renewed hope agenda. I want to bring back your hope. In doing that, I have somebody I think should represent me in bringing my agenda achievable.
And the Minister of the FCT, Mr. Nyesom Wike, believes that security in the nation's capital has improved following the arrest of 2 notorious kidnappers. Mr. Wike stated this after addressing senators in plenary over the security situation in Abuja.
You cannot have one crime or the other. What we're trying to say, being able to limit or reduce the level of insecurity. But if anybody tells you that as society is concerned, you don't have one form of criminality, that is not correct. And we must have to tell ourselves the simple truth. Also, most of the kidnappings to you here sometimes are state-managed by people. There are some internal arrangements. Mind you, 2 most wanted notorious kidnappers, we have gotten them. And that's why you see the level of kidnapping has reduced. So we are not saying that we have gotten to where we want to be, but we're doing a lot. And people must acknowledge that what used to be is not what we are seeing now. And we'll continue to do our best by providing the best for our people. That's what we're trying to say.
Welcome back. The police have arrested a correctional officer, Mr. Usman Magaji, over the death of one Ibrahim Yahaya of Gishiri village in the nation's capital, which led to the attack by hoodlums on the popular Wuse market in Abuja. A statement from the public relations officer of the FCT Police Command, Mrs. Josephine Ade, states that investigations are still ongoing. While the police restored normalcy to the market after the incident, according to the FCT Emergency Management Agency, 8 vehicles were burnt, while at least 10 shops were affected by the fire. Please watch this.
It's the morning after at the popular Wuse market in the nation's capital. Traders resume at the market to commence the day's business. However, they are unable to access their stalls following threats to peace in the area after a disturbance from the previous day. Security operatives from the Nigerian Police and the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps are on the ground to ensure that there is no breakdown of law and order. Nevertheless, the situation is tense as some persons have refused to vacate the market. On Tuesday, March 12, 2024, traders tried to salvage their wares after disturbances in the area led to a fire outbreak in the market. According to the police, operatives of the Abuja Environmental Protection Board Task Force had charged a suspect before a mobile court within the market. The suspect, Mr. Ibrahim Yahya, was eventually found guilty of violating the FCT environmental law. However, in an attempt to escape, the suspect was shot dead by one of the correctional officers on ground. The development led to some angry mobs to set ablaze vehicles and shops.
We witnessed it, all of us in the market. When we are about to lock our shops to find a way, the police people came and started pouring us tear gas. And this is what actually occurred in that process. All because of they wanted to take one guy to prison. Yes, because of he urinates on just because of he urinates. That they want to take him for prison. That should pay a fine of 5,000 naira. If not, they will take him to prison. A very young guy of he's not even up to 18 years.
Why would they give water? Gun.
Can you imagine?
What water they will do with gun? The pursue person come out for market. The pursue the guy come out for market. We have mobile court in this market. We have mobile court. So on the way escaping, the guy ran away. I have to chase that guy. Leave the market. Oh. Pursue the guy, go kill him. Water, kill him with handcuff. Why?
Outside the premises.
Outside the premises.
The Market Management Task Force was not on the scene to narrate their side of the story. However, the traders believe the task force should be held responsible.
Most of the time, they will come, pick people in the market, negotiate with them. If you are not able to pay the price they ask you to pay, they move you to prison straight.
That is the police.
The management, the market management, tax force market management. You understand? They have a standby judge, standby mobile call that can take you to prison direct without further delay. So immediately when they came with the cops, they take it direct to the management. Them, the management, were not able to stand the heat. They begin to run. Then they were angry and begin to destroy their properties. They begin to destroy their properties. So on the process, police begin to fire tear gas. This thing you see here is the cause of tear gas. It has happened before.
While the police is promising to investigate the incident, the correctional officer involved in the incident has been arrested over the death of the convict.
My guest on the program is the Acting Director General of the Federal Capital Territory Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, Mr. Mohammed Sabu. We speak with him on the response to this tragedy and what the market authority should be doing differently to ensure this sort of situation doesn't repeat itself. Mr. Sabu, welcome to Dateline Abuja.
Thank you.
This is the first time we're interviewing you.
Yeah,
You're the new acting director of the FCT Emergency Management Agency.
Yeah, definitely.
How has it been since you?
It has been quite eventful. It wasn't easy, but we are doing our best. We try to keep the FCT residents safe. That's what we do.
Let's take a look at this Wuse incident, this Wuse market incident.
Okay.
Just talk us through exactly what happened on that day.
Actually, that should be on 12th of March 2004, which happened to be on Tuesday. At about 5 minutes after 4, we received an emergency call, distress call, through our emergency toll-free number, which is 112, about a fire incident in Wuse market. So immediately we activated our stakeholders and rushed to the scene of the incidents.
Activating stakeholders meaning you call on...
We call on the fire service, Federal Fire Service, the FCT Fire Service, NEMA were there, which is our parent body. That's the National Emergency Management Agency, the Police Command, and the Civil Defense, all were available at the scene of the accident.
How long did it take between when they called you and when you arrived?
We were there in 5 minutes.
But in 5 minutes, 10 shops were burnt?
Yeah, no, you know, the issue, that's as at the time we were called. Definitely we will not be called before the incident occurred.
So the fire had already started before you were called?
The fire already started before we were called.
When you got there, how many shops were burnt at the time?
10 shops, about 10 shops.
So the 10 shops were already on fire?
Were already on fire.
What about the cars and the parking
The cars, there were 8 cars that were burnt that very day.
So the carnage had already erupted before you were called
our arrival, actually. So the police did their best. They controlled the situation. If not for the police, the hoodlums would have burnt a lot of cars in the market. And the fire service, even the Julius Berger Fire Service were there too. So the combined 3 fire service assisted in putting up the fire. Within a very short time, the fire was put off. But before they could put up the fire, it has already raised down about 10 shops.
At the time when this happened, your office said you were ascertaining the cause of the fire. What was many of the people who work in that market, who have shops, who are victims, say it was tear gas that caused this fire. Have you been able to ascertain what happened? Did someone bring a fire and throw it into the place? What happened?
No, actually, we have not been able to ascertain the actual cause of the fire.
Till now?
But till now. Luckily, the police were available within there, and in the process of trying to control the crowd, they have to throw in tear gas. Tear gas ordinarily will not cause fire incident, will not cause fire outbreak. What we are suspecting, there must have been possibly some shops that have stored petroleum product, or possibly the hoodlums wanted to make use of that, exploit the situation so as to loot goods from the market. So that's what we are suspecting that caused the accident. Either there's a combustible material, most likely petroleum product that were being stored in some of these stores, or some of these hoodlums, one of these hoodlums must have caused the fire outbreak.
So that brings me to the preventive measures I was talking about. In the course of bringing, normalcy and putting down this fire in Wuse Market, did it occur to your office at some point that the number of hoodlums inside Wuse Market claiming to be barrow boys or, just around the market, is that something that is a bit of concern to FEMA at least?
Definitely. In the course of, you asked about the preventive measures we take. One of the preventive measures we do is sensitization. So we have discussed a lot about issue of hoodlums in the actual sense. And the security agencies, both the police, the DSS, are aware of this situation. And they're actually working on it. But the issue is that most of these people claim to be doing business. They will claim to be agents within the market. You cannot completely preventing people from going about their business towards earning their means of livelihood. That is the situation. But the security agencies definitely are doing a lot towards preventing the existence of hoodlum within the market space. If not for the security agencies, the concentration of hoodlum will be much more than this, much more than what we are having in the market.
There's no market in the world that I know that is of the scale of Wuse Market that is organized like this.
Definitely.
At least you can agree with me on that.
It's well organized and it's well planned in the actual sense.
Exactly. So Wuse Market's organization doesn't make sense in many ways. Why are there so many hoodlums inside the market? Can we verify the businesses that they say they're doing? This issue of barrow boys helping you to carry, is there no other way around it? That's not how things are done in a market that is that big.
Yeah,
because now look at what has happened. A situation has occurred, and now innocent people who didn't care about or overlooked the fact that there were so many hoodlums around, they are now the victims. 10 shops burnt, 8 cars destroyed. What are some of the things that were missing in Wuse Market that could have reduced the carnage? Especially, we've talked about the hoodlum situation, the fire in itself. What are some things that could have been in place to ensure that this fire didn't spread like that?
Actually, we observe most of the shops don't have firefighting, these fire extinguishers. And all the shops need to have a fire extinguisher installed. A functional fire extinguishers, not expired ones. They don't have these fire extinguishers. Everybody need to own up to the protection of his own life and property. And one of the first steps is these measures. These most measures we are neglecting. That's the provision of fire extinguishers. They are not there in the market. You cannot just allow anybody to go into the market and be operating, whether as a middleman between sell person or as a borrow person. They have to be registered one way or the other, so that you ensure that hoodlums don't infiltrate or penetrate the market. That's one major way you'll be able to address this issue.
The person to address this is the market authorities.
The market authorities, definitely. I said, this is not all. It's not everything that you say government. It's not all about government. Even at individual level, as I've said earlier, you have a responsibility to protect yourself, to protect your property. And in the market, the associations, since they are there, they have a responsibility to protect themselves and to protect their property within the market. And they should not allow hoodlums to infiltrate into the market to cause this sort of damages or havoc within the market there. So they should organize themselves to ensure that all those that are operating within the market are registered, they are known, and they should ensure that they are not hoodlum on people that will come and cause chaos or havoc within the market environment. In all markets in FCT, in all plazas, malls, and most of the public buildings in FCT, we want to establish marshals.
What marshals?
These are
FEMA marshals.
FEMA marshals. Okay. Be first responders within that market. That's in the case of a market. They are going to be first responders. They will ensure, they assist on ensuring that most of these safety measures are put in place. And if we are going to be in contact with them, if there's any infringement or they are not in place, they will just report back to us. And if there is, let's say, a fire situation, just as I've said, they are going to be first responders.
Well, we do have to wrap it up there, but I want to thank you very much, Mr. Sabu, for being with us on Dateline Abuja. And good luck with all the work I know you have ahead of you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thanks to my guest and to everyone who spoke to us today on the program. We tried to get the Abuja Investment Company Limited to speak with us, but we haven't heard back from them. They own Wuse Market and are responsible for its operations. And if they see this episode, we would love to hear from you on the challenges that led to this incident and what measures you're putting in place to ensure it doesn't happen again. We would also like to hear plans for compensation for those affected by this incident. The carnage of this Wuse Market incident reminds many of us of a phenomenon we used to experience in northern Nigeria, which many of us hope has ended. The sheer number of hoodlums in Wuse Market who parade themselves as barrow boys is worrisome, and in truth, for a market that large, servicing so many in the nation's capital, better coordination is necessary. And that is something the FCT minister, as well as the Abuja Investment Company Limited, must look into. That's Dateline Abuja this week. Please let us know the happenings in your neighborhood using the social media handles showing right now on your screens. Thank you so much for watching. I am Kayla Megwa. See you next time.